Hey, what's up fellas, Maru here, and welcome to a game called The Last Winter Night, a Gothic visual novel game where you wake up as a suit of armor in an abandoned castle. Maybe a year ago now, I think it's been over a year since I played this demo. This game has been in the works for over 3 years, and I've played pretty much every game from this creator for a while now. Like I've played all of their games, and I've been really excited about this one. This is going to be quite a long game as well, so this is probably a series. So yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Lost soul, wandering through mist and snow. Do you feel the touch of iron cold? I've pressed that one. Here we go. I really am excited for this game. I don't know, playing it way back then was so fun, and then like, excited just for the full thing. Before you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth or light, no touch nor taste, no sound nor sight. No dreams, no fears, no memories. Only a dark as vast and boundless as the sunless sea. You were one soul adrift among the dead that came before you, a droplet in an ocean. But now, you're unsure when you come to consciousness, when the pieces of yourself coalesce and form you again, when darkness became dimness, when silence became the barest rustle of sound. Wind. You're here again, in the world of the living, as if you never left, as if when you closed your eyes for the final time, you were only dreaming. You're trying to recall what a dream is, what it means to wake from sleep. When you were alive, and sleep was a different being altogether from death. Feel. Moments pass. You remain still for some time, letting the sensations of the world around you flood your consciousness, grounding yourself in the flow of time itself. Time. You once felt its passage with painful clarity. The world of the living is a finite and fragile one, fleeting as frost beneath the morning sun. But now you have the luxury of waiting. Something falls gently around you. Snow. You form the word in your mind, feel its shape with your consciousness. Soft, white, cold. You shiver out of instinct. Something metallic clangs and rattles as you do. But the bite of cold never comes. Listen. The roar of the wind, the creaking of iron, the song of a place abandoned by time. If solitude had a sound, would this be its melody? Look. Finally, you decide to examine your surroundings. Or rather your encasings. You try to move your fingers and something metallic clinks in response. Clicks. The steel gauntlet follow your command, clinking softly as you twist and turn. But this gauntlet and embrace are hollow. No flesh is encased beneath them, not even bone. Yet as you bend your arm, the coulter and pauldron move to your command. The rings of an iron hauberk clatter against the empty... Oh my god, these words, I'm trying to remember how to pronounce these things. Empty caress of your torso. You know that once, long before the currents of the sunless sea took all memory from you, you had flesh. You lived and breathed. Lived and breathed. And fought and killed until you died yourself. And the life of a knight. see. Gingerly, you reach for your visor and crack it open and close until your vision settles into focus. Mirror. What you see is yourself, your reflection, rather than a broken mirror on an old stone wall. An empty helm stares back at you. As you shift and turn, your caress and pauldrons shift along with you, clinking in the dark dimness. Lost soul. Did this armor belong to me? Was I a knight? Now, I doubt this choice matters much, but this game has, I believe, quite a few different endings. Like, there's a good amount of bad endings you can find, or just like different things we can get throughout the game. I'm gonna try and go for them all, best I can. And, so this should be a simple choice. Shit's not belong to me, because we knew we were a knight. Cold steel. Hollow plates. You wouldn't think to call armor comforting, but this is. It's familiar. It's safe and protective, enveloping you like a father's arms, and it responds to you like it's yours. You look down at your gauntlet, imagine gripping the hilt of a sword. You've worn armor just like this, once upon a time. Perhaps this suit was indeed among them. But beyond these sensations, no memory comes to you. Not yet. Perhaps in time you'll know what drew your spirit, not only to your armor, but to this place as well. For now you turn to the rest of your surroundings. Objects will not yield all their secrets upon a single look. Try examining them more than once to reveal more insights. A summary of your discoveries, as well as an inventory and helpful terms, can be found in the codex. You have clicked on everything in the room at least once. The frost around the edges of the screen will disappear. I hope you can find yourself again. Thank you. Now, because I do remember this slightly. This was over a year ago and it was a demo, and yeah, but I do remember this area. Because we can just start looking around. The painting hangs above the hearth, flaking and aged, its ornate frame tarnished with time. It depicts a woman of no less than 20 summers, dressed in a blue gown, her skin porcelain fair, and hair fairer still. A raven, its feathers the same stark hue, perches on her arm. She's beautiful. Not even time can steal this fact from the canvas. Only because she is like me, lifeless and ageless. You stare at the painted face, trying to recall the person it belonged to. If she was the mistress here, I must have served as her knight. But her name, like yours, escapes you. Again, multiple times. The barest flicker of familiarity registers as you gaze at the portrait's flaking blue eyes. Perhaps this image isn't true to life. The artist could have painted her younger or fairer than she was in reality. Those who fail to please their patrons have short careers, after all. Perhaps that's why I don't recognize her. Or perhaps I cared that little for my liege. Another save? Who perhaps said that's why I care that little for my liege? As much as you'd like to imagine you were a loyal knight, you don't know what kind of master you served. Was she worthy of pledging my life to? The canvas yields no answers. A painting of whom you presume to be the lady of the castle. For a woman to inherit, you must have had no brothers or close male relatives. None with a strong claim, anyhow. Perhaps I'm unhappy about that. Perhaps some tried to unjustly take advantage of her. Both these are kind of one and the same in a way. This one, if she had few relatives and allies, a rival could have tried to manipulate her, or take her place. That thought makes you feel strangely protective of the painted figure, who for all you know could be as long dead as you are. The ruins of the room around you offered no consolation. Again. And we can just destroy this painting with staring at it. The painting we presume, no matter how long you stare at it, no memories of her surface. That's gotta be it then, right? Yeah. Alright, we continue. If you ignore the overturned furniture, broken glass, and fallen chandelier, you think this room would have been a comfortable place. It's spacious, with a thick rug, wide walls, a hearth for warmth, and arched windows for light. A solar, or sitting room. You briefly wonder if you would have had the luxury of spending time here as a knight. Likely not. This room clearly has seen better days. Yet the broken windows and overturned furniture tell you that this place wasn't merely abandoned. You can only wonder at who might have left it like this. How many years has this place been abandoned? How long have I been dead? A cold stone hearth with only ashes remaining. You try to recall memories seated before a roaring fire, shutting your eyes by the warmth of the flames, a book on your lap or mulled wine in hand. You must have done these things, but no recollections come to you. I haven't felt warm so very long. I'm glad my suit of armor wasn't knocked over like all this furniture. That's probably it, right? As you look at the ashes left in the hearth, you spy what you at first think is a stray clump of snow, but it flutters away on a sudden gust of wind. A feather. It's gone before you can think to reach for it. There's nothing but a fire with. Thankfully, I don't need to keep this body warm. But yeah, this is a very, by the way, I'm not going to say slow-paced game, because I remember it picking up later in when I was playing the demo. But I will say it's definitely a lot of reading, so this is a very chill game to say, which I enjoy, because I don't know, I just love this style the creator has. Indices, I believe his name is. Broken windows gape like an open jaw, drawing icy breaths of wind to this wide stone room. Shards of glass litter the floor like a revenant's teeth, buried under soft white mounds of snow. A winter storm gathers and grows. You'll have difficulty traversing it, but you can find a way outside. Well, there's plenty more to explore here yet. You step towards the window and stand for a while at the threshold. The world outside is a blur of white and dark that stretches as far as you can see. A pale moon shines in a pitch-black sky, a lonely thing, further than you could ever hope to reach. The world of the living is beautiful, just as empty as the sun of the sea. We'll do another save here. It's kind of beautiful. The softly glowing moon shines on a world silver white. The night is dark, nothing like the void from where you came. In a lightless sea, darkness loses its meaning. Here, in contrast with light, it almost feels alive. It doesn't mean I like the dark, though. I'm glad it's a full moon tonight. Broken jagged windows gape, their shards littering the floor, meaning whatever broke them came from outside these walls. Ooh, yeah, take one. You take a large piece of glass and tuck it into the pouch on your belt. You're not sure how, but perhaps it'll be useful. It doesn't hurt to be prepared. I think that's all with this one. I think it's all the floor. Yep. And let's see, besides broken glass, yeah. There's a book. You pick up the book and try to read its faded words, though your hollow gauntlets struggle to turn the pages. It appears to be an epic romantic novel about a knight. Knightess, rather. Well, I suppose anything is possible in fiction. The pages are filled with lengthy paragraphs of purplish prose that spend too long describing the main character's musings, the scenery, and the main character's musings about the scenery. You feel safe in assuming this hefty volume did not belong to you. They grab it. Mirabelle then looked into the shining ocean-like pools of his azure blue eyes. Oh, how blue they were, and blushed deeply until her fair cheeks were as red as the blooming rose she held in her palm. Quickly she pinned it to his caress, catching a glimpse of herself in its mirror-like surface, and blushed further. If it wasn't a spirit already, I'd die from embarrassment after reading this. It's not that bad. A romantic tale novel about a female knight. Somebody must have been doing some light reading before they were interrupted here. I have better things to do than keep reading this. Sheets of parchment lie scattered near an ancient wooden table. You carefully pick one up and attempt to read the faded script. My dear, I remember this specifically because I remember this word giving me so much trouble. I'm gonna say Marchioness, because I think that's what I settled on. And it could be Marchioness. I'm gonna say Marchioness. My dear Marchioness, my knights and I are most eager to attend the tournament. My condolences once again for your loss. What a great burden your father has left to a woman as young as yourself. I, of course, would be happy to offer my advice, perhaps in a private setting. The letters continue in a similar fashion, mentioning a tournament, the death of the recipient's father, and promises of courtship or counsel. The words choke with flattery and veiled condescension. Each one is addressed to a Marchioness. You assume this must be the woman in the portrait. Though her painted face is nothing but serene, you can only imagine her reading them with a sigh of exasperation. You're certainly beginning to feel that way. You set the letter aside without caring where it lands. Is that all that's on the ground? Among one of the letters, you spy what appears to be a drawing, a portrait, but the features are obscured. It bears a signature, Rex. Rex, meaning king. This Marchioness was a noble woman who corresponded with royalty. You must have had immense power, or wealth, or both. What were they discussing? But frustratingly, you can't make out any other words. Letter addressed to Marchioness, filled with flattery, condescension, or both. They discuss a great tournament she hopes to host. Hundreds of nobles and knights would have gathered here for it. Something must have happened during the chaos. That should be it. Yeah. Oh wait, that was a little different. They're discussing a great tournament to be held in this very castle. You can only wonder if such an event did occur and what happened during it. And we can see the mirror. You took another look in the mirror. I'm gonna make out more details on your armor. It's a deep black, with the metal's luster has been lost to time. Delicate engravings cover its plates. Spiraling leaves and gilt florals trace its surface like ivy on a wall. The crest carved onto the center of the cuirass resembles a bird. A crow or a raven, you think. It's an intricate piece of craftsmanship. Beautiful, truly. But more importantly, it feels familiar. Comforting. Wearing it makes you feel less like a spirit and more like you, wherever you were. Plate armor is already expensive, hence only knights can afford to wear full suits into battle. I read that right. Armor this ornate could have belonged to someone of great status or renown. Could that truly be me? What sort of person was I? If I was so important, why was my spirit laid to rest? Great men are given great funerals, prayers and dirges from sunrise to sundown. 100 flickering candles to guide his spirit across the sunless sea. A grand pyre to burn away mortal regrets. I received not even the barest courtesy in my death, for the burden of my soul weighed so greatly, no flame could hope to lift it. You examine your reflection again, trying to remember your features. Your armor stands at an impressive height. You were tall. You were tall then, and must have been physically fit to don it. What did I look like? Was I rough and imposing? Dignified and princely? An intimidating face suits me. I think I had a friendly face. Would it be vain to wish that I was handsome? What I look like doesn't matter, I'm dead. God, it's a lot of options. Would it be vain to wish that I was handsome? Knights are the heroes of countless stories for a reason. Perhaps you were a slayer of monsters, like in the Tales of the Mist. Or you simply wish that were true. The frost has cleared from this room as well. Is there more here, though? Your armor was once and still is beautiful. Yet, though tarnished, not a scratch covers it, like it was never worn into battle. Like it stood here, unused, never to fulfill its purpose. You you know that even the most beautiful armor is built to protect. For lords and knights, conveying one's lineage is as important on the battlefield as off it. If you fought for your lady, you didn't do so in this suit. Then why was I drawn to it? Why this armor, not the one that protected me in life? That should be it now. You can only wonder why your spirit was drawn to it instead of the one you wore in life. Yeah, there's no more frost. Can we leave? We can. You're not my brother. I got an achievement for that. Hear the echo of a voice long forgotten. This game has 72 achievements, by the way. Who? Was that my lady's voice? You wait, but save for the wind, the castle remains silent. If I keep searching, I should remember more. At least you hope so. And we go left. Claw marks. A pair of doors stand at the end of the hallway. They don't even budge, even when you press the full weight of your armor against them. Locked. You sure? The thought occurs to you that for all your steel suit ways, you yourself are still a spirit. In the tales you've heard of restless souls, some spirits walk through the world like mist. Why then should a closed door stop me? Try to leave your armor. Absolutely. You're not trying to leave your armor, however. After a few moments of deliberation, you decide to simply press your gauntlet to the door and will yourself to float. Doesn't actually happen. Before you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth, no light, no touch nor taste, no sound nor sight. No dreams, no fears, no memories. Only a darkness, vast, boundless, unending, never-ending. You were one soul adrift among the dead, a droplet in an ocean. Actually, you aren't. You are nothing. You are nothing. You find yourself briefly let go of your tether. I have no voice and I must scream. You find your voice lurching over the door, helm bent, gauntlets gouging into the wood like claws as you settle back into cold familiar steel. I'm never doing that again. I can't leave my armor, my tether. I can't go back to the sea. I can't become mist again. If I want to go any further, I'll have to find that blasted key. You keep your distance from the door. If I want to go any further, I'll have to find that blasted key. Let's hear then. Oh, hey. This is just the Dark Souls armor from just Dark Souls 1 that Oscar wore. A rusted suit of armor donning a faded blue surcoat surveys the hall. It's impressive, but dated, and doesn't hold a candle to the fine craftsmanship of your own armor. Hello? You try to call out, and immediately feel foolish. You don't have a body, so naturally you have no voice either. What are the chances there's another haunted suit of armor here, after all? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? We wouldn't be able to communicate, so we would just talk in charades and bounce around each other, hoping that we could convey our messages. Broken glass and piled snow blankets the floor of this hall as well. The shards glint like splintered teeth. Remember tales you've heard before, tales you have told and tales you've been told. Tales of men who woke from death and who grew iron skin and teeth. Iron has always been sacred to spirits, they say. I suppose there's not much difference between the revenants in the tales and me. You tap the suit of armor's visor. No response. No other ghostly knights in this castle, then. Are you sure? Tap the suit of armor's visor again, still no response. Yeah, he's not waking up. Putting like a key behind him. Proud banners adorn the walls. Each bears a raven with wings unfurled, similar to the one engraved on your armor. This is the symbol of the family I served. You don't feel any sense of pride as you gaze upon them. Almost the opposite. I once heard somebody tell stories about the sunless sea. of the spirits who failed to cross its shores and wandered eternally through the lands of the living. But who, and were they ever true? You can't help but feel you have an answer now. Snow and broken glass, white as the river. Asker, sharp as revenant's teeth. You step to the broken pieces without caring if your sabatons graze them. You don't need to act as if you still have flesh and bone. Once proud banners displaying the Marchioness crest, the beautifully woven birds have sunk into a sea of murky, moldy blue now. A heavy feeling lingers in your caress, as you wonder if these banners mirror the fate of the house you reflect. Also, I looked at them just now. Apparently it's Karas, not Caress, Karas. These banners have hung, ripped and fading for decades now. Yet still they proudly announce their house, refusing to fail, as long as the castle itself stands. I guess that's it then. Another desolate home, yet with more broken glass. There's little to be learned from staring at the floor. It's not that I interact with everything. I love doing that in all the games I play. Just clicking something as much as dialogue allows me to until it's exhausted. I'm like, okay, I'm done now. And this should also be done. We get through here. Oh, we can. It's a wooden rack for holding weapons. A pair of training staves lean against it forlornly. You sweep your gaze over the room. Not a single sword or spear lies in sight. You let your gauntlet fall to the side, to your side, where a scabbard would hang off your belt if you were carrying one. I can't deny, I'd feel safer with the sword. You know what they say about old habits and dying. Rack for holding weapons, but none lie in sight. It's strange that I would come across a single sword, spear, or axe yet. Not even a decorative one. Taken by thieves, most likely. Staring longingly at the empty weapons rack isn't going to make a sword manifest, you tell yourself. Liar, if you keep opening the pantry door, food will appear. It's a storage room filled with empty crates and shelves. Dust coats the surface of old wood and moth-eaten fabric, thick as frost untouched by the sun. Thin, moon-white cobwebs fill every corner and crevice. Against the far wall, you see a rickety shelf laden with blankets, horseshoes, and other riding equipment. You even spy what looks like a tournament, barding, bearing a unicorn-shaped crest, likely the personal symbol of whatever knight this loyal steed once carried. You've seen this crest before, emblazoned on a blue standard, fluttering in the field. A satchel with the same crest sits on the top shelf. Find out what it holds? Absolutely, I think I'm always going to check what items are. Lucky for you, your armor is tall enough to reach it without straining. You wonder if your suit would hold together if you were to fall. Would you be able to put your stuff together if your arms were no longer attached to you? It's a scary thought. You carefully lift the satchel, aged leather crinkling at your metallic touch. Your finger plates graze over the crest. Slowly, you open it. Rather than the equestrian supplies you were expecting, you find an assortment of objects. A broken necklace, torn linen, and numerous letters. Personal, sentimental belongings. Letters stowed carefully away. Were these written by somebody you knew? You carefully fish out an envelope. To your frustration, they're too faded to read. It looks like they were damaged, or the ink was of poor quality. I wish I could have gotten a name, something, anything. Anything else? Too faded to read? You scrutinize them regardless, searching for whatever they might tell you. You notice that each page was folded carefully, almost precisely into perfect thirds. The person who sent them had a meticulous hand, you think. Old, faded letters, faded with time. There's no use in lamenting what they might have held. Ordinary messages, words of love that transcended time and the lifespan of the relationship itself. Or as you might, you can't imagine yourself pinning a love letter. I suppose that's it. Can't make out a single word. A faded note, a scroll of handwriting barely visible on a parchment scrap. The ink looks blotted away in places. By water or by tears, you decipher it best you can. I told you I don't want them back. Take them or throw them away. I don't want to talk. I don't want to see you again. Not after what you've done. Well, that certainly doesn't bode well for its recipient. Is there anything else? That means there's simply there's no couldn't bear to look at them, there's simply there's no one to forget them. One says, must have found deep, painful memories tucked away. I feel like if you would want to forget something, you wouldn't shove them all in a box. You'd throw them away, right? You couldn't bear to look at them. The memories these objects held must have been too much to bear. Get away, mouse. But even ruined, broken, they had too much meaning to be carelessly thrown away. Isn't that common in heartbreak? Sometimes even pain can be a precious feeling. I don't want to talk. I don't want to see you again. Not after what you've done. A note of farewell. Our relationship is standard as the linen before you. The brief words, their cadence, they're familiar, just a bit. Was the note's intended recipients you? A simple amber pendant with a broken clasp. It could belong to a man or a woman, but given the fine linen it rests on, you find the latter more likely. It twinkles in the dark, like a drop of stolen light. The amber pendant is beautiful, but simple, hardly a piece worthy of a noble or anyone of rank. Still, you imagine that somebody treasured it, at least for a time. Can I grab it? Just take it with me. Likely belonging to whoever owned the rest of these things. The clasp is broken, but the stone still twinkles, almost like an eye. No. A torn piece of embroidered linen. The fabric is very fine. You're afraid to hold it with your gauntlets, lest the metal catch on the threads. It's patterned with flowers, leaves, and vines. Motifs common enough in clothing, but rarely on a fabric this delicate. Oh, I know what this is. It's a wedding veil, or at least the remnants of one. All that's left of the starred thing is a scrap of fabric, burnt and stained at one end. The stitches are uneven and filled with gaps, too tight in some places and too loose in others. The bride who made this was not a skilled seamstress, to put it charitably. With needlework like this, it's a wonder she married at all. Oh, your needlework was lame. There's no way you could have been married. Was I ever in love? Could I have been married? Was I ever in love? Finding a bride would have been a necessary task for a knight like you. Perhaps you cared more for companionship than dowries or alliances. But if you were, what does it mean that you don't remember who she was? Your supposed partner for life. You shouldn't have. Think of it as an early wedding gift. Come on, try it on. I'm a lousy partner if I can't spoil you from time to time, aren't I? That's not true. You're all I could ask for. You deserve it. You deserve so much. Spring. Bright sunlight spills over a bustling town square. The market blooms with colors. Pennants fluttering in the air like butterflies. Small stalls strung with dried flowers. People filling the streets, tunics and skirts of woad and weld, blossoming among the cobblestone. You keep your long hair covered, despite the warm day. Silver strands stand out like a blot of ink on a fresh page. But she stands out anyway. Her loose waves flow down her back, burning red in the sunlight. Uncouth, you knew for a woman her age, but she never cared what others thought of her. You admired that. You were always a little envious of it. Gingerly, he touches the drop of gold around her neck, as if it were the most precious thing in the whole world. But she stares upward, as if the real treasure is held in her eyes. Oh, we got the full thing anyway. Art's so beautiful. Like, just admire that for a moment. The sketch style is just so nice. Memory of a treasured gift. Wait. I still don't know your name. A gift for someone you once knew. Someone who was close to you. At least for a time. Someone who cared for you. Someone who betrayed you. You deserve so much. And that voice. That familiar voice of somebody who wanted to give her the world. But had only the sword on his belt and the armor on his back. And little more. A knight. Like you. Did he... I... do? Is that all? You recall that a veil is traditionally saved and reused as a swaddling linen. From its current state, you imagine this one was certainly used for something. Either it was burned by accident and rescued, or it was ruined on purpose. Maybe a mixture of both. Like someone burnt it because of the memories and they like shoved it away because they like didn't want to get rid of it. Its stitches tell a story, but that story eludes you. That should be it, right? And that's all we have in here, so we can get out of here. Can we go down here? Well, it looks like a hatch lies on the one side of the room. It's going to be locked. Oh, I have to open it myself. You're trying to lift it and meet resistance. Your hollow arms clang in unison with the metallic screeching of the hinges as you strain to open it. It swings open to reveal pitch blackness. I shouldn't have expected anything else, should I? It's something in the dark pulls at your memory. Twisting corridors, tunnels melting one into the next. Pursuit. Hunters cornering prey. But was I the one chasing or being pursued? All you know is that some piece of the answers you seek lies down here. But I won't go down yet, because it wasn't, no matter how desperate you are for answers, it certainly wouldn't be wise to traverse these tunnels unprepared. I need light. I won't go into the dark. Never. I need a way to mark a trail as well. If the tunnels are twisting as I remember, I don't fancy becoming lost down there. You decide to step away from the hatch for now. Surely the answers you seek will wait for you. That's actually really smart. I was just saying I was going to hold off, that way I could explore more, but yeah. Maybe a young girl, but she isn't blind. Can't you see? The North needs someone like you. Oh, wait. More memories. Is this somewhere we can go? Oh, yeah, whole nother area. Oh my. The remnants of a tapestry cling to the wall. A knight on horseback charges at a giant's thing, tied down by chains. Looks like a dragon. Bolts stick out of its back. A lone rider is flanked by knights of different colors, bearing shields and spears. Revenants. You said this wouldn't be a scary story. What's this? Are you afraid of a simple tale? Revenants. They're the size of men, whatever this is supposed to be. No. Tapestries often commemorates great events, battles, victories. Perhaps the beast here was a metaphorical one. A great nation, an enemy army, a tyrant, nothing more. Sure. Hang on the wall like gutted skin. That's a very dark way of describing that. It depicts knights in battle against something. The fabric is nearly torn into two. A thief would have taken the entire piece and slashed it to pieces. Whatever the reason for doing this, it was personal. Though a weapon could have damaged it, jagged marks almost make you imagine claws. Staring at this ghastly thing is making me dream up fairy tales. Anything else? The colors are fading, but the lone rider appears to be wearing blue. his cape trailing valiantly behind him. The same blue that I wore. Was that us? Yeah, none of us. This room first. Dark. It's too dark to see anything. Maybe if I can light these candles. Also, I just can't do anything in here. Okay. Moonlight filters softly through a stained glass window. That was kept perfectly. It looks beautiful. Even with the whole castle destroyed, you recognize the scene depicted in colored glass. A scene from the Tales of the Mist. It's the hero Tristram, lantern and sword in hand, preparing to slay the revenant that terrorized his people. But the story isn't a happy one. It's a tale of sacrifice and folly. Tristram. Why is that name familiar? Well, the tale was a popular one, and the name was common enough when I was still alive. But you can't help but feel there's more to it than that. The stained glass window above you depicts a scene from an old tale. The tale of a king who sacrificed everything in atonement for his folly. Tristram. It aptly means sorrow, bestowed upon newborn boys in the hopes they'll lead humble lives, or the unlucky number who survived their births while their mothers did not. I remember stories about wandering spirits and revenants, but I've heard no such tales of things like me. I almost wonder which I'm more like. What else is in here? Candles cover the room in several shapes and sizes. Some are plain, half-melted stubs clinging stubbornly to their prickets, while others are tall and carefully carved with ornaments and flowers. Almost all are engraved with the name. It's a chapel, a place where rites were given and prayers whispered, where all facets of life were celebrated. Births, funerals, weddings. I know this place. I've carved names here. Golden light softly scattered by stained glass, warm voices, borrowed silks, flowers. For the first time you can remember, the scent of flowers mixes with incense and melting wax. I apologize. You're not sure what they're called, but they're golden like her eyes. Gold like the thin band you carry that glints like a ring of sunlight. It slips over her fingers as easily as the promise whispered. Because we were married then. I got that wrong. We weren't just in love, we were married. It weighs like an oath kept. Your family gains another member today, but not all are present to witness it. Your father is not here to see this joy. Your heart is so light, you almost don't notice it. A memory of warmth. The warmth is gone, leaving your hollow plates colder than before. As the tender moment ebbs away, a trace of bitterness takes its place. A woman in a veil. My woman? That vision. You try to remember warmth, you try to conjure the smell of incense and the glow of flickering candles again. But your steel shell remains cold. Yet, somebody significant to you once stood here. Their memory tugs at your soul. You don't know whether from gratitude, affection, or something else. You consider that you don't know how long you need to spend in the cellars. Will I have enough light? You stare at the scores of candles before you. Take as many candles as you can carry. Take a few spares for safety. Don't take any. Interesting. I definitely want some. Take a few spares. It's only prudent. You select a few candles, reaching only for the nameless, uncarved ones. You're not sure if it could draw your fellow spirits' ire, but decide to not take any chances. You step away with the fuller pouch. With a hollow body, you easily notice even the slightest shift in weight. Or is it your thoughts that weigh on you? We have this one, but we have some that we didn't want to just knock over all the candles and take the ones that like ruin all the other spirits resting. That'd be mean. Countless candles fill the chamber, save for the cobwebs and dust that coat the room like winter frost. You notice this place looks untouched by time. Whatever happened, whoever caused the place to be abandoned, at least they had some respect for spirits, or they just feared them so they didn't want to like get their attention. An ornate candlestick sits on the altar. The candles resting in it are carved almost as beautifully as the spiraling black iron itself. And these candles would have been lit as offerings to the spirits, both to guide them to rest and to ask for guidance in return. And now, you can indeed guide a spirit. Mine through the cellars, but I need some way to light it. Imagine there's something here. It's a pewter box. Inside it you find shards of flint, striking iron, and charcloth. Tools for lighting fire. Perfect. Take them. You have no excuse not to enter the cellars now. You take them. Nice. You got it now. It makes you feel at ease, knowing you can light a flame whenever you need to. Take a moment to admire the fine carvings on the candles. To spend so much time carving wax, only for it to melt away. Who had this much time on their hands? But candles are candles, beautifully etched or not. I can take this to light my way to the cellars. You strike the flint until the spark catches, then lights the 3 long candles standing in the candelabra. A soft glow radiates from the tiny flames, now bathed in the moonlight. For a moment, it seems to glow blindingly bright. Ooh, another memory. This is nice. Promise me you'll take care of your sister. Promise me you'll never fight, that you'll love each other. Spare our daughter, please. I beg of you, she's done no wrong. Those voices, I don't recognize them. That must have been the past. But why did that feel less like a memory and more like a dream? You toss your helmet and gorget as if you were shaking your head, and take the candlestick. You can sort out riddles later. So, I'm assuming the one we saw in the portrait, the one with the white hair and like the white raven on her shoulder, that was likely our sister, I imagine. Because our wife looked like she had like red hair, like the one we gave the ring to and, you know, the necklace. In the flashback, she had like red hair. So, I don't know what happened, but somehow we died. That's the only thing I know. I died. You can go here now, right? You carefully take your candlestick and bring it to the tall candelabra, setting each wick alight with a flame. That's better. Okay, not much to see in this room then. What can I see here? In the drawers you find several corked bottles of alcohol, dusty and undisturbed. You wonder if the Marchioness or her predecessor was fond of drink. The top right drawer is locked and will not open. Sure, bottles of murky amber liquid fill the bottom drawers. I suppose we all have our vices. Or were you drinking to your sorrows? The topmost one is locked tight. We'll see this then. This is the biggest guy in the room. It's a painting of a man with white hair and beard, dressed in fine furs and jewelry. There's a clear resemblance between him and the portrait of the woman in the solar. His painted eyes stare down at you in stoic contempt. You ungrateful bastard, who gave you everything you have, who granted you the honor and privilege of a knighthood when you should be rotting in the streets. Stale liquor, dusty cedar, etc., parchments and ink. It's tournament day, but you're not in the spirit for games. You'd retreated here in a foul mood, unaware that he had shirked his duties and done the same. What more do you want, boy? You know what I want, father. A memory of conflict. I remember him. This man was my father. The master of the castle was my father. Yet his daughter succeeded him, while I became nothing more than a knight. And even then was a privilege he deemed me unworthy of. But did he refuse to give me what did I want from him? What did he refuse to give me? There was his flesh and blood. It doesn't seem like he saw me as such. You saw no reason to fulfill a request from a mere vassal, did you? To think of a man, the previous Marquess and master of the castle, your father, and next to Marchioness, your sister, and you, the bastard son kept to serve the family, never to take its lofty name. Already getting lower of who I was. Your father's words echo, you ungrateful bastard, what more do you want? You didn't have much affection for me, did you? Because I wasn't your true born child, because I was a living reminder of your shame, or I think that's all. Yeah. Shelves of books and records on what looks like a variety of subjects. You walk over and examine the spines until you spot one that bears the same emblem on your armor, a raven with wings extended like a leaf. Ancestry of the House of Winter. That must be the family name of the Marchioness. Navigating the pages isn't easy with metal fingers, but you manage, flipping through decades, if not centuries of names, dates, and facts until you land on the most recent entry. Year 228. On the second day of the second month, a daughter is born to Marquess Sigmund and Lady Vivian, and given the name Sigland. 5 days later, Lady Vivian perishes. Well, didn't she clocked out? Year 246. On the seventh day of the second month, Lord Sigmund perishes after many months of illness. Lady Sigland is his named as successor, and bestowed the title of Marchioness. Sigland von Winter, my sister. So you were 18 years old when our father croaked. With his Marchioness and the one in the painting are the same, and the lady I served was barely more than a child. Sigmund, father. You flip back to the earlier entries. There's no mention of a son. I was kept around. My mother and I weren't important enough to be included in the record, even as a footnote, as if they were ashamed I even existed. You close the book with a sinking feeling in your karas. You peruse the titles, though several of the topics look interesting. You're not sure they'll help you remember anything about yourself. And you can imagine running your fingers along the grooves of the spines, as if you've done so many times before. Read the family record. No, I guess we got it. Essentially, we were the bastard son, and we were forced to essentially, I suppose, watch over our own sister, because our father was ashamed. A stack of papers sits on the desk. You look through them and find names, figures, and numbers. They're fiscal documents. This looks legible, though. They're stained and faded. On one of the better preserved pages is a roster of knights, listed in order of rank along with their respective fiefs and incomes. This many knights. What a wealthy master we shared. If conflict were imminent, however, that would make plenty of sense. One knight whose name you cannot make out is listed at the bottom. Wherever he was, he had far lower earnings than the rest. That's probably me. Is my name on this ledger? One of the knights be me? Read off the list of legible names to yourself, but none of them feel like they belong to you. Sir Dietard, Sir Xavier, Sir Robin. Well, even if I could learn my name here, knowing my fiefdom earned in a year doesn't seem like helpful information to me now. Assuming my master had even granted me one. Frick. An empty glass bottle. As you brush a cobweb off it with your gauntlet, a scent, a memory of a scent wafts over you. Stale liquor, stinging bitterness, honey to mask it. You almost recoil in distaste. I take it I wasn't one for strong drink. Could I use this to hold something? To leave a trail within the cellars? Yeah, there you go. Like a powder. You take the bottle and fix it snugly to your belt. A faded map lies on the desk. It depicts two territories at its center, divided by a great river. Give me one moment. Liftrasser, I'm going to say Liftrasser and Ostara. Those names I recognize. Liftrasser, the kingdom of silver north and golden south. Sunsets over endless fields. Birch forests turning pale gold with autumn's chill. The white river Asker gleaming with ice. Pale crest of waves breaking on the Boreal Sea. Sky-rich peaks scraping a frost-blue horizon. Sounds beautiful. A place I fought for with tooth and nail. Home as far as I could call it that. And Ostara, the kingdom across the river. Vengeance, snow, blood, smoke, screams. Beyond that, I don't remember. Doesn't sound like we had the best relationship with them. Did we vanquish them? Or did they vanquish us? Oh. Behind the map you find a note. My lady, you made the right decision. The lion's den is too dangerous for a young girl like you. You can rely on me to handle the peace talks. I'm glad you understand why sending Sir Tristan would be imprudent. A bastard has no place rubbing shoulders with the lords, no matter how decorated. I'm sure I need not remind you what they call him. The Prince Slayer's presence could only give the wrong impression at a peace summit. I mean, I don't mind being called that. That's a very hard name. I love that name, in fact. Tristan the Prince Slayer? I'm hoping that's me. Nor do the blood-hungry hounds who side with Heimdall need further encouragement. Please don't worry yourself. Give ever your loyal commander, Sir D. It's blanked out. Prince Slayer. A mere knight dare spill royal blood. Small wonder this Sir Tristan would be shunned, even for a veteran. It seems he was no champion of peace, but had he some reason for bloodying his hands? Tristan. You turn the name over in your mind, repeating its rhythm. Tristan. 2 syllables. A backwards heartbeat. Its cadence is familiar, engraved in your memory like the etchings on your armor. He was a bastard like you. He was an outcast like you. I'm aware of what it says, but it's not my name. I don't recall anything but the Commander D who wrote this. Heimdall, on the other hand. You feel your gauntlets clench in tension, yet no name echoes to your memory as deeply as Tristan. I feel I'm clawing my way out of a dark well, like I'm on the cusp of remembering something important. I suppose that's all then. Alright. Wait, so I guess we can just go now. This is in here. The master might have kept the key to this drawer. I don't know where I would look for it. That remains locked. Yeah, we can just go into the cellar now. I believe... Oh, hold on. You've not spent years protecting the commoners from Ostarian invaders. To them, you're a princess locked in a white tower. I'm well aware of my shortcomings. The only reason you stand where you are is because Sir Tristan is loyal to you, but loyalties can change. Another memory. But yeah, I believe the demo actually ended right when we made it to the cellar. Oh, did you not like my gift? It's beautiful, but you stood in the cellar, your arms folded tightly in front of you. Your eyes flit over the suit of polished steel that stands there in solemn silence. A gleaming shadow. You don't know what else to say. It is beautiful, worthy of a prince, and worth a prince's ransom. It's beautiful, take a picture. But it's still only a suit of armor. To an ordinary knight, a gift like this would be the honor of a lifetime. But for a hero of the kingdom, a veteran of the Great Ice War, a man who's given and sacrificed so much, how could a single suit of armor ever be enough? The memory of a reward, in quotation marks, is the achievement I got. I only wanted. Your sister? Oh, we're getting dialogue now. Oh no. But I knew of a lady who could only be the Marchioness, your sister, as the only true-born child. Everything that was your father's would have passed down to her. No matter how you felt about it. No, that's kind of cool. That's actually a really good touch that after you find out she's your sister, you can go back and do a quick read. Yeah, no notes now. Make sure I miss nothing in this room. Reconsider it. Oh, we already have candles. We're good. Yeah. Yeah. Right to the cellar. We have nothing else to do. Yeah, I was gonna say I have the pounder. I suppose a pounder could work. Wait. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, wait. I think I know what I have to do then. Oh, yeah, a quarter full of ash. There we go. Put the ash in the bottle. Not the ideal trail marker, but I have no better options. You do your best to scoop up the ash from the earth into the glass bottle. It slips through the cracks in your gauntlets and settles deep into the fine etchings on the lames, turning beautiful black steel gray. But you have other things to concern yourself with other than being tidy. Finally, once the bottle is filled, you return it to its place on your belt. I hope this works. An ideal trail marker, but it will have to do. A shame no one left a pile of pebbles lying around. I mean, if you wanted to, you really could just use glass, if I'm being honest. Like, there's a bunch of glass in this hallway. If you grab that and, put it in your satchel, it would have been fine. Once more, you lift the hatch and stare into the open maw of the cellar staircase. Here we are. The lights from the candles faintly flickering outline staggered steps swallowed by the darkness below. You stare into the blackness, one gauntlet gripped on your candlestick, the other reaffirming that the bottle in your belt sits snug. It's now or never. And so you descend. Step by step. Your sabatons clang. Your handbrake rattles against the shell of your cuirass. You grip your candlestick tightly, as if it's shield and weapon both. The tunnels are wider than you remember, wider than the oppressive twisting stone you imagined. There's ample room above your helm, and around you, much that your candlelight barely reaches the walls on either side. There is no sound, but the ringing of steel against steel as you step onwards. The shaking of your handbrake, clink, clink, within your hollow cuirass, echoes like a heartbeat. Finally, up ahead, you come across a fork in the path. Search your memories, I mean. Yeah, why wouldn't we do that? What path did you take so many years ago? You were following the lantern lights of somebody. Somebody you held on to tightly. Or were they holding on to you? Right. I'm very curious here. What happens if I go left? You have a small pile of ash to mark the turn, and you continue into the dark. Every stone, oh, I'm so sorry. Every stone upon every wall looks the same. You begin counting your steps down the hall, but lose track around the 49th and don't bother starting again. You grip the candlestick tightly all the while. It surprises you just how crushing the darkness feels. All alone, your footsteps feel 1,000 times louder than they should be. The metallic clang of your heartbeat claps like thunder. As you approach the end of the hallway, the path forks again. You concentrate, but no memories resurface. Are you expecting one too? Do you think the past is yours to command? Well, I'm just gonna go left again. You make another mark with the ash to continue down your path. Walls of stone swallow your footsteps as you creep further and further through the throat of the cellars. Clink, 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 clink. The rhythm of your steps and the hauberk against your hollow cuirass draw an old rhyme from the depths of your memories. Beware the dark, beware the beast, with hollow hearts and iron teeth. If thou shouldst stray from hearth and keep, upon thy blood the revenant feast. Remember an old nursery rhyme, iron, drawn from the veins of the earth, drawn from the blood of the living, a thing precious to spirits, because we were once human. You continue walking, an old tune turning in your mind, your own shadow, your only companion. Until up ahead, another path, another fork. I'm just gonna touch my memories again, see just in case. You strive and you strain, but you remember nothing else. The more you stay put, waiting, the less certain you feel about who you are. You seemed so certain before, didn't you? I'm just gonna take another left. The bottle nearly slips from your gauntlet as you leave another mark with the ash. You curse and continue shakily onward. You walk past more stone walls, more stone floors, more stones in darkness and blasted stone. You take a moment to stop and steady yourself. I just need to stay calm. You imagine, like, oh yeah, I mean, we don't really have much to do with our prisons, like, what can we do, king? It's like, just knock the prisoners out and just lock them in the cellar. Like, knock them out, bring them somewhere random in the cellar, and just leave. And just let them die down there. I feel like you can just do that without why the cellar is. Just like, we'll just put the prisoners down there. They won't last long. And there's so much space. Without the echoing of your steel plates and sabatons, the halls are deathly quiet. Did I make that sound? You stand still, making sure none of your hinges are loose. Silence surrounds you. I imagined it then. It's not imagination. From somewhere further in the dark, the hollow scraping of steel against stone echoes. Distant, but unmistakable. Is somebody there? Oh. The sound grows rapid, but fainter, as if it now moves away from you at great speed. You doubt you would be able to chase it down, if you could bring yourself to even move from your spot. Indeed, you stay where you are for a long time. Only after untold time passes do you move forward again, wondering if what you heard was a dream. You walk, and you walk, and you walk. Lost little lamb, didn't trust your own memories, another achievement. Finally up ahead, you see something on the ground, a glint in the dark. You doubt your own senses again at first. No, something really is there. Carefully, you approach. Candlelight falls on metal caked in dust and decay. The curve of a cross, the threads of a molding surcoat, the white of bone. A corpse lies before you. Spirits. Hello there. You look a little bit worse for wear. He has keys, and he has two of them. That might be like to the desk and the other place. Before we get those though. The desk and the door at the end of the hallway. The corpse of a knight lays against the wall, jaw locked in a soundless cry, socket staring eternally upward. He spent his last moments calling out to, cursing, whatever or whoever killed him. Why would a knight be down here? Why were you left here? A medallion in the shape of a raven hangs around the knight's gorget. You notice how similar it looks to the one worn by the Marchioness and Marquess in their portraits. The mark of a the highest rank given to a knight. Oh, are you Commander D? Commander? Both had the same thought. Keys hang off the ring of the fallen knight's belt. I'll have to take those before I leave. I need them more than he does. Oh wow, Let's light a candle for him. It doesn't feel right to leave him like this. You set the candles down and fish through your satchel for a spare. What name do you carve? I can't put Commander D. Oh, that just looks weird now. It sounds like Commander or Commander. No, that's not the commander's name. Daniel? It's no good. I don't remember it. It seems you have no choice but to leave the dead knight be. Make the most of your candle light, you should continue on without tarrying. You reach for the keys locked on the knight's belt. I'll just take those if you don't mind. Oh, never mind. That armor. You dare show yourself again, traitor. It's not. You stumble back as the knight lunges at you. Steel knuckles ram into your visor and tear at your gorget. Your vision flickers wildly with each hit. Instinctively, you swing the iron candle with all the force you can. Metal screams against bone, sending tremors through your vambrace as it connects with the knight's exposed skull. In the light sputters, gasp, bone crunches, splinters. The knight flinches. He, like you, remembers a body that once knew pain. That single second gives you the chance to break free and run now or stay and fight. I'm gonna fight this guy. Fight? How do you think you're gonna fight a dead man? Have you lost your senses? Maybe. Fine. You lunge at the knight before he can get his bearings, switching the candlestick to your right gauntlet, your weapon hand. You strike his exposed jaw, shattering tooth from skull, but the blow barely slows him down. He crashes into you, pulling you into a grapple. You try to break free, twisting and striking with the candlestick, but he refuses to yield. Bone and steel scream and groan as you both lock into a stalemate, each trying to gain the upper hand. Above the din, a voice cuts through your mind, jagged as a blade. Tristan Greywall, you spat on your father's memory. You betrayed us all. Not even in death will I let you defile this place with your filthy presence. You struggle free and manage to knock him on the floor, but he takes hold of your vambrace at the last moment, dragging you both into a crashing heap of steel onto stone below. The two of you tangle again in a twisting mass of metallic limbs. You abandon the candlestick, reaching both your gauntlets to his hollow skull. If I can just wrench this from his bloody spine. But you don't have the strength. Where is the Marchioness? Did you let the Austrians take her? Did you slaughter her after you murdered me? Shut up, damn it. As Fist strikes your visor before you finish your thought, turning your vision askew. You instinctively reach for your helm, allowing in precious seconds to break free from your grip. The two of you stagger, circling each other. It's useless. Neither of us can win. Are you satisfied now? I can't be locked in this undead duel forever. Dang it. I need to escape and form a plan. He doesn't let you do that either. As if sensing your intention to flee, he lunges at you. You step to the side, dodging the tangle, but not quickly enough to avoid his grasp on your cape and pauldron. Let me go! That beautiful fabric tears from his hands, but the knight holds fast to your armor. You strain with all your might in vain. His grip is like death. Each finger shackles you with icy malice, steeped in years of rage and resentment. When your father told me to punish you all those years ago, I shouldn't have stopped that little scar. I should have split your head open to spare us all from what you brought upon this house. Where is that harlot you call a wife now? When I'm through with you all? Your pauldrons groan as you struggle with all your might. Answer me! In your second pop as the pin spring holding your shoulder in place give way. You don't stop to retrieve it. You run. You don't look back. You move blindly. You're hollow, but that makes you lighter, faster, frailer, fragile, broken. Without light, you narrowly avoid crashing into the walls around you. You graze them as you run, armor screeching when the steel scrapes stone. The gaping hole in your cuirass, where your arm was moments ago, wails as stale air bleeds through it. Sound is your only guide now. It's not a very good one. You don't care. You run. Eventually, when you no longer hear the other knight behind you, you stop. You don't know where you are. You're alone. You don't have anything to fear from a fight. You're dead. From the dark, I am. In the castle, in the living world. The castle I was born in. The castle I grew up in. I should know this place. I can find my way back. I can find my way out. I'm here. I'm adrift in the sea. I'm a droplet in the ocean. I am nothing. Your Zabatons continue to pace, but you don't feel their movement. They walk without your input. You're moving nowhere. You're drifting away from your shell. You're losing hold of your tether, of you. I am nothing. I am. Your next footfall hits not stone, but a soft pillow of ash. The brief touch jolts you back to the world around you. The cellar dark and empty. The hall long and silent. By some miracle, you've wandered back to the path you came from. I need to get out. Now. You run, hoping the direction you're facing is the correct one. By a second miracle, it is, and you... by a second miracle it is, and soon you see the faint moonlight filtering down from the square of the hatch above. You sprint towards it until you clamber up the narrow staircase, scraping your greaves along the steps, then burst into the dim light of the abandoned storage room. You slam the hatch door shut with a violent thud, and push every chest and crate lying in the room on top of it. He's not getting out of that. Finally, you slump onto your palliance with a creaking sigh of steel as the tension leaves your cuirass. The relief doesn't last for long. Well, what now? I'm trapped here in this empty suit of armor, an empty castle with an angry skeletal knight that wants to dismantle me. I haven't any hope of getting that blasted key from him. I can't escape and I still don't know why I'm here. I'm stuck here forever, damn it. Only one thing seems clear now. I was Tristan, and I betrayed my family, my fellow knights in my house. What did I do? Who gives a bloody damn? Finding out what or why I did what I did doesn't change the fact that it happened, nor the fact that it's damned me to eternity as either this broken suit of armor or a drop in the sunless sea. You slam your gauntlet onto the shelf in front of you in frustration, causing the rickety wood to teeter. The satchel on top of the shelf tumbles and lands beside you, with a thud spilling its contents onto the floor. You curse, about to bunch up the worthless pages and pause. The ink is not all faded on one of the letters. In the corner of the page, in neat and careful handwriting. In neat, careful, and familiar handwriting, apologies, are 3 words and a name. I love you, Tristan. Love. Was I foolish enough to do all that I did for love? Damn it. If this is what it led to, I wish I never met you. I wish I lived and died alone. And then you clutch the letter so tightly your gauntlet leaves creases in the page. You crumble the letters, then finally throw the objects back on into the satchel and shove it onto the shelf again. Tristan, why can't you see for once in your life? You're not my brother. My brother's a hero. None of you will give me any peace, will you? Fine then. If I can spend eternity without your bloody voices haranguing me, I'll do it. I'll keep trying, keep searching, just to shut you all up. Damn it. I need to deal with my arm, and then the commander. I'll need light again. More candles. Wait, candles? Do I need to fight the commander again at all? If his spirit was trapped here like mine, could there be a way to release him? You think of the dozens of beautiful candles in the chapel, carved with ornate patterns, flowers, and names. There's a reason candles are lit for the departed. For spirits like us, I wasn't able to perform, but we can give him peace. I'm assuming that was going to happen either way. Like, that feels like it was a scripted event of, like, losing our arm and getting out of the cellar. I feel like that was going to happen regardless. A weapon is going to help me against the commander. Never mind wielding one with a missing arm. You killed your right gauntlet tightly. I suppose I should be glad he didn't take my weapon hand. Thank the spirits for small blessings, as small as they are. Many prefer polearms for their power and reach, but I've always been partial to the sword. There's an elegance to the long sword that a blade on a stick can't help to match. Hope to match. Anything still stirring in this castle must be as dead as both me and the commander. The weapon is going to help me even if I could find one. I assume that's all. I still don't remember anything else about her. I don't remember the affection I supposedly felt for her. Does that mean my own words were a lie? Or was my wife simply an excuse to justify what I did? I can't be surprised the commander hated me. But he called my wife he acted like she was his enemy as well. Despite the note she sent, despite what I did, she stayed by my side after all. How long ago did I die? Is she gone now too? I'm sorry. This should stop anything or anyone from crawling out of the hatch. I hope. You restore a suit of armor and brush your gauntlet over it, running your fingers over its smooth plates. Save for a light coat of rust, they look undamaged. You know that this armor would likely be a tight fit for a man of your stature. Well, that's not a problem in my current form. I don't know if or when I'll get my arm back. You don't mind if I borrow this, do you? The empty armor gives you no reply. You attempt to remove the pauldron from the suit, but find it stuck fast. Try to loosen it with only one free gauntlet doesn't make the task any easier. Damn it. After a few frustrating and fruitless minutes, you resort to pulling on it with all your might. Spirits! At last the arm is free now. Thankfully, touching it to your own caress is a much less cacophonous affair. Once it's snug, you tentatively flex your unfamiliar finger plates. You're relieved to find your new hand does respond to you, albeit clumsily, like a limb you've forgotten how to use. And that's a relief. It's a good thing the commander didn't take my right arm, or that would have taken much longer. You muse that as a suit of armor, but if your dominant hand was once, shouldn't matter now. Curious how easily the habits of bone and flesh translate to steel. I'm sorry for doing that to you, though. What's that inside the helm? What is that? The contents of the armor you knocked over spilt like glittering entrails over the floor. Priceless pieces of jewelry, rubies, pearls, lie among ordinary pebbles, buttons, and rusted coins. A gaudy mess of the worthless and valuable stowed together, without rhyme or reason. Did a magpie build a nest inside it? You rummage at the bottom to see if there are any keys buried, but find none. You decide to... I have no use for money, but sure. I can't buy my memories back, but I could use the coins to leave a trail. That'll make a far better marker than ash. You uncork the bottle on your belt and drop several dusty coins inside it with a clatter. Your new gauntlet struggles with the fine movements at first, but you can feel the fingerprints limbering with each movement. Motion. And with the bottle tugged back onto your belt, you step away from the fallen suit and its treasures. It lies in a broken heap on the floor, bubbles bleeding from its open helm. Sorry about that, but I need this arm far more than you do. A raven in the shape of a leaf, a crescent moon resting in the boughs of a sycamore tree. Sycamore? Think that after everything you've done, you wear your house's symbol still. As I'm going to find a set of wax carving tools lying around. I suppose I could use the glass I picked up earlier, though. You've never carried a candle with broken glass before. At least you won't have to worry about cutting your fingers. True that. Something else in here, I imagine. You can re-interact with everything. After a new scene happens, there's a new dialogue for every option. Don't leave me behind, Mirabelle begged, tears flooding her mournful eyes like a river overflowing with rain. You're all I have. Her beloved's own ocean blue eyes stare deeply into hers, his icy blue pools deeper than the deep seas roiling blue depths. Duty calls, my dearest, he sighed, but I will always return to you. If not in life, then in ashes. If done as ashes, then as a spirit. No, I will always walk beside you. Is this supposed to be romantic? How boring. Silver hair, an ugly scar across your eye, marring whatever noble features you might have had. The rest of your features, whatever they look like, are still a blur to you. The only face that looks back at you now is a hollow helm. This armor was a gift in the same way a collar is to a hound. It made me a symbol, the ideal image of a knight, a hero. But it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't who I was. But now here you are, forced to wear it after all. You carefully step to the room and peer through the broken windows again. The wind still roars beyond the castle walls. Snowflakes whirl within the moonlight. The storm rages yet. I see the winters here are as cool as ever. Winter, a fitting name for the house I was made to serve. You walk over to the remains of the tapestry, a woven version of you charges at a great beast. So yeah, now we know that's us. Revenants. He says this wouldn't be a scary story. Oh, we've seen this thing. Oh, this is new. Sweetheart, please. The story is supposed to help her sleep, not give her nightmares. We'll finish it another time, then. I want to keep reading. One more page, please, brother. Wait. Please. My sister was just a child. A child I was supposed to protect. Until... Man, that's what I'm saying. You really should re-interact with everything again. You might get more... we would not have had that little memory right there. Is it wrong of me to feel what I do, even now? This envy, that child who knew no suffering, who had everything. I was supposed to protect my sister, but I... Don't beat yourself up about it. Father. As your gaze falls on the frame, you notice a small inscription carved into it. Sigmund von Winter, Marquess of Greywall, and Lord Protector of Lif. Protector of Lif? You didn't protect anything, but neither did you. Oh, another memory. Tell me, did my mother ever love you? Or is she just another person who can say no to you? You heartless child. As the ghost of a memory fades, you find your gauntlet curled tight, shaking. It takes you a moment to realize that the feeling that lingers is not anger, but fear. A mix of heavy feelings weigh in your cross when you look at the painting. Feelings you can't entirely name. That's how families are, aren't they? Though mine was a touch messier than most. See you beyond the sunless sea, Father. To be a roster of knights in these shelves. You look over the spine again, but see no other records of the family or the knights who served them. Taking out a heavy tome, however, you find a scrap of parchment that somehow appears to have used as bookmarks, to have been used. You reach for the book and free the parchment from its pages. Snowflower and Brother is a challenge drawing of a knight. I want this. Give this with me. For whatever reason, you decide to take the drawing with you. You take it, tuck it into your satchel out of sight. Horsey, that's the name of the achievement. As you replace the book on the shelf, you catch a glimpse of the page the reader left off on. Literature, History of Law. Chapter XI on Succession and Inheritance. Shelves of books on a variety of subjects, mainly history and statecraft, though you spy memoirs, poetry, and novels among the lower shelves as well. Whoever was reading them seemed to have a fondness for chivalry and courtly romances. Somebody who saw the world as no more than a wonderful dream. Sir D. I'm looking for a name that begins with D. Oh, can I see this thing? Fiscal documents with names, figures, and numbers. The commander would have been the highest ranked among the knights. His name must be here. You pour into the sheaves of aged parchment until you find the page that you skimmed through earlier. A ledger with a list of fiefs and the knights who managed them. Many of the names are too faded to read, but one stands out at the top of the page. Sir Dietar. Oh, we did read that one. I could have got that right then if I lit the candle and remembered his name. Well, we didn't get his last name. We only got Diethard. Diethard Dressler. I might write this down really quickly. Hold on. Okay, all done. Commander of the Winter Knights. Diethard. Sir Diethard. I do remember that name. I knew him as a child. No memories of your senior night. You truly didn't care for authority, did you? Is my name on this document? You come to the ledger again for any mention of yourself. Though you don't find one, you spy at the bottom of the page 3 faded letters that look like tan. You barely stop yourself from tearing the ledger apart in outrage. This is practically robbery. It says that I owed my father far more than I earned. What debts could I possibly have owed to my own father? And we were just treated like truly a bastard child. Though it hurts to imagine what my master did to me. I should go and light a candle for the commander instead of digging through tax documents. Just to make sure, are we... Oh, Ron, please. I just want to make sure. Are we missing anything if we look around here? All these men want to seize my sister's title or use her like a puppet. Was I any different from them, though? With our father dead, my sister would have no one to lean on. And as she was unmarried without any heirs, the opportunity to change one's fortune, nay, his entire life. You'd like to believe you were above such temptations, but the past does not care for what you'd like to be true. If I had been born to become the Marquess, I wouldn't have blinked at a suit of armor this fine. I would have dressed my wife in gold and silks, not a simple stone necklace. I would have carried myself with the pride and authority I deserved. The things that I would have done mean little now. What matters is what I did or didn't do, and how I'm going to find the truth. Hmm. Mirabelle. No, that name doesn't ring a bell. If I end up trapped here for eternity, at least I'll have something to read. Yeah. What was the name of the book? Knightess of the Rose. I'm just trying to see if we missed out on anything really quickly. Silver hair, pale irises, a long scar across your eye. Courtesy of the commander, if his words were true. What did I do to deserve my punishment? You wave your left arm in front of the mirror. You can't help but grimace internally at how the rusted plate looks next to your fine black steel. The sooner I send off the commander, the sooner I get my arm back. The letters offer no further clues to your past actions. You leave them be. A lone candle flickers by a windowsill, and my memories. Flames coil in a hearth. Long shadows writhe. I used to spend time reading in front of a fire before I slept. Sleep meant a new day would come. On some nights, that thought was a blessing. On others, the furthest thing from it. You look older in the painting. And the artist paints it that way. Art is meant to present an ideal version of the world, is it not? I remember a girl dressed in her finest for a great tournament. The tournament. I was nervous that day. I'd been planning something for a long time. The Marchioness. Even now, after all I've done, the only thing I feel when I look at her portrait is envy. What kind of carefree life did she have while I suffered? Your memories offer you nothing but the ghost of a long-lived resentment. You really weren't fond of her. You turn away when you catch yourself looking at the painted face in the frame again. Whether from resentment or shame, not even you can say. Let's see if there's anything else interesting here. I just want to make sure I don't want to bore you by reading so much stuff. I also do want to see if we get other memories or lore pieces with the story. I don't know, I just love doing that. The remains of a cold fire, long burnt out. If you still have the sensation of touch, you shiver just from looking at it. You examine the fallen chandelier, but only briefly. These candles are practically stumps. Yeah, we can't carve that. Nothing new. Somebody once taught me how to carve candles, using half-melted ones like these for practice. I didn't see much point in it, however. It felt like a waste of time, carving beautiful things that would melt away. Now that you're a spirit yourself, though, you can't say your sentiments haven't changed. The candles in the chandelier look nearly burnt, though. It's not worth salvaging them. Like there, and last thing. Your gaze is drawn to the several pieces of broken glasses that litter the floor like jagged teeth. Absently, you feel for the shard in your satchel, running your hands against its sharp edge. It rests there, tucked away like a knife. Snow falls against the ink-black night, the sky of the living world. When was the last time I saw it while I was alive? And did I know it could be the last? Snow falls in the world outside. A world you can't yet reach. There we go. Now we're done. We can see the frost is clear. You stop and pick out another dusty candlestick. Hopefully, you won't need to use this one as a weapon. Then you reach for a plain candle sitting in a lonely pricket. It's time to let the commander rest. You carve the name... Diet hard. What's it? I have it written down here. Hold on. Dress. Oh, was it just first name? Because his name was Diethard Dressler. You take the piece of glass you gathered and carve the letters into the wax with the sharp edge. Diet hard. As soon as you bring the flame of your burning candlestick to the unlit wick, A familiar bright light nearly blinds you. Commander, you have no right to give orders to me, traitor. Sigmund, forgive me, but I must send your ungrateful child to the grave with you. If you think I'm the same boy whose face you once carved open, you're mistaken, as that's when we killed him. An eye for a life. So the one who killed the commander must have been me. Little wonder he called me a traitor. I don't know if a candle carved by your killer will bring you any peace, but may you find your way across the sunless sea, Sir Diethard. You don't have to protect this place any longer. Candles guide spirits across the sunless sea, but the commander's body was never given a proper funeral. Did nobody discover him? Time to see if this worked. You look up to the stained glass where the hero Tristram forever holds his vigil. That I was given the name Tristan and have no memories of my mother. You must have been a pitiable thing once upon a time, but the childhood you imagined for yourself was hardly uncommon. Did I have any children? You wonder, but quickly push the question away from your mind. You don't want to know the answer to it right now. You spend a moment looking over the stained glass figure again. What do you feel, sharing a name with the legendary hero? Why did my father keep me here? I was nothing but a burden to him. Like you, the hero Tristram stands alone in his vigil. I think, that should be all, right? I mean, this is just... Oh, wait. Nope, that's important. For the commanders who remain here like me, was he drawn to the armor that once protected him? That only makes me wonder, what happened to the suit I wore when I was alive? Okay, now we're all good. Skin box content again. There aren't any carving tools near, a shame. When I was alive, ornamental wax carving kits were very popular. I had a beautiful set of them once, but I hardly used them. But to find that, it clearly was one for prayers when I was alive. It's time to return to the cellars. Let's hope Sir Diethard will be more agreeable this time. You set your candlestick down and push the crates off the hatch one by one, so the entrance is free once more. I thought we should be waiting there. We lift the rusted door, familiar darkness beckons you. Here we go again. For the second time this night, you descend down the stairs. Step by step. The same wide walls and the hollow hall swallow your faint candlelight. The same echo of empty footfalls clang. As you walk, you suddenly realize you have no idea where the commander is. After your desperate flight, you have no recollection of what path you took, nor where the other knight lost sight of you. I could end up looking through this entire labyrinth just to find him. And what happens if I do? What if he still wants to rip me apart? And does you don't have to look for long. As you round a bend, you see a familiar shape, slumped on the floor several paces ahead of you. Your candle outlines a flicker of steel, a shimmering of mal, a pale shape with black empty sockets, staring out at you. Hello, Commander. You approach very, very slowly. 10 paces away, and there is no movement from the figure. 5 paces, 4. Still, it does not stir. 3 paces, 2, 1. What in the world? After the figure slumped before you was the commander. His tattered surcoat and once burnished armor engulfing bone. The other half from his cuirass is gone. What happened to him after I left? Were his remains so decayed that they fell apart during the chase? Is that why he let me get away? Looks like a great gash is torn to the bottom of his cuirass, revealing the battered rims jutting through the maul. His gauntlets are still gripped around your empty left arm. I'll be taking that back. You decide then not to spend another moment where you are. The keys are mercifully still looped around the knight's belt. You hastily untie them, shoving them into your satchel, and then reach for your arm. You can reattach it when you're as far from here as you can be. You hurry back the way you came, hauberk beating against your cuirass with every step. The first thing you do upon returning above ground is remove your borrowed pauldron, which is easier said than done. It takes a few minutes of fiddling at an awkward angle before you manage to loosen it from the pin and spring attaching to your gorget. Ugh, I always had someone help me remove my armor. This was never a problem when I was alive. Who would have guessed I'd still need a squire as a ghost? You set the rusted metal inside one of the crates and work on fitting your own pauldron in place. There's a series of wicked scratches along the metal now. Your armor, after standing for so many years unworn, finally has its first scar. Not really, still a cool way to have one. Once your arm is reattached, you tentatively flex your coat of vambrace and gauntlet. They move in one clean motion, as if you were stretching your real limb. As good as new. Mostly. Then finally, you look towards the hatch door. Yeah, I mean, I see no harm in barricading the hatch. Something could have cut him in half. I've already run into one other trapped spirit here. What's to say there aren't others like me or the commander? Their dietard might not have been the only person or thing stuck down there. Slowly push the crate and chest back over the hatch. Having both arms make it much easier this time around. You survey your work, hoping it won't have to be tested. Now, to find out what's inside the castle. If you're trying to sound confident, you're not fooling anyone. The key sits heavy in your satchel. The weight of truth hangs above you like Damocles, but the only path before you is forward. Yeah, you can still interact with everything. Oh, only a little bit there. Sorry about that. Okay, this stuff's all the same now. I was going here first. Take the small key from your satchel and try the lock. It doesn't fit. Damn it. I wonder what this key is for then. What did father keep locked away? I haven't come across any other locked things. Just the door. Like, no, there's two keys, I don't know. Only one thing to interact with. You fit the heavy key into the lock and firmly twist it. The hinges shriek as the door swings open. Anyone in there? The way forward is now open to you, should you wish to take it. Absolutely. You step forward to the doorway. Nothing changes the moment your saboteur moves from one hall to the next. Nothing tangible. But you feel as if something has. Something settles in the air around you that a second ago was not there. You take another cautious step forward, and then another, until you see a brutal murder scene. Blood across the floor and the walls, long dried, caked between cracks in the stones. Moonlight trickling from an arched doorway, thin as flayed skin, pale as bone. You don't need it described for you in any more detail, do you? There are far more pressing things to examine first. Fair. The knight sits slumped against the wall unmoving, his armor caked in dust and dark in rust. His armor is similar to yours, embellished with a bloodied raven on his cuirass, but missing any fluidity. Its plates are engraved in scars and scratches, not flowers and scroll work. Its cape hangs around him like a shroud. Spirits. If I recognized who this was, I might light a candle for him, but no idea. You hesitate to examine the knight more closely, but even from a distance there's no mistaking what the muddy color soaked deep into his helmet and gorget is. He survived long enough to face his fate with dignity. Paintings line the narrow hall, their decrepit frames clinging to the walls. Dark stains cover the canvases, so deeply it looks as if a mad artist had painted stroke after stroke in blood. Death has dipped his brush and soaken his palette to present the scene before you. You find yourself drawn to the portrait on your left. It appears to be a painting of a woman, though the canvas is so soiled, it's impossible to make out her features. An inscription beneath the frame reads, "Vivian, beloved mother." This is the woman that died 5 days after childbirth. May your love and mirth grace the shores beyond the lightless sea. My sister's mother. You feel as if you should have some recollection of her, but you remember nothing. Is that all we can interact with? Yeah? The room beyond the bloodied hall beckons. I don't really need to save her, but we'll go forward. You step towards the poured moonlight. The feeling in the air thickens, seeping into your plates, flooding you like grave water. You trudge ahead. Your grieving. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to do so much research on like knight's anatomy, on armor pieces names, and crucises weighed down with every plodding step. You wade closer and closer towards the shore. And on that shore is death. The heart of a castle is the great home. And here that once vibrant heart ceased beating. Revelers at the remnants of a feast. Lords and ladies, servants and knights. Their corpses lie at your feet. And all around you now is a torrent of memory, awash in red. Screams pierce your helm. Searing slashes score through your pauldrons and cuirass, burning what remains of you. Your armor cannot protect you from the agony of the souls that linger. The memory that remains here, seeped into every stone and pillar, fallen deeper than the blood that coats them. Your greaves and cuisses threaten to buckle as the burning sensation of blade cuts through you. You grip the edge of the table for balance. The skeleton of a noble lies prostrate against it. The fine furs of his coat rotted, his skull missing from his spine. You spy it a second later staring at you, with vacant sockets from the fine bone resting by your gauntlet. You jerk back. Your finger plates have left claw marks in the wood. You look down at your gauntlet to see red flicker over the lames. You lurch past the man's body. You keep wadding, pushing forward to the deluge of screams and howling in pain. What are you still searching for? A body, an answer, a reason for this madness. Tristan. The Tristan, have you gone mad? Sheath your weapon at once. Oh, it's our sister. A young woman stands among her court. It's a day of revelry and games, and her most esteemed guest has yet to arrive. A commotion at the doors. Figures march inside in twin rows, dressed in burnished armor, weapons gleaming at their sides. The knight with hair as silver as her own breaks through the rank and swiftly approaches. And then he draws his sword. Chaos, bloodshed, betrayal. And at the center of it, you. Do you have your answer now? I did this. No, this wasn't me. Oh, wow, wait, is this like answer blocked down? Like I physically can't say this. I wonder, so does that mean like I missed something that allows me to know it wasn't me? I did this. I love my wife wants to give her a better life, must have been manipulated my phones. I wanted what was rightfully mine. Oh no, I think this is just what happened. The fool. Blame your own selfish desires. The commander was right. I was a traitor. I was Sir Tristan, I was a nameless knight, a bastard with no birthright. I was unwanted, unappreciated all my life. I did everything I was asked. I fought and killed on the orders of men who toyed with my life, like I was a pawn in their hands. No matter how much I sacrificed, all I was rewarded with scars. I deserve better than this. I deserve better than being used and tossed aside. If betraying my flesh and blood was the price to gain what was mine, well, what could a family that treated me like this possibly mean to me? What was wrong with more bloodshed when my hands were already stained? But this, even I know that this was too great a sacrifice. How could I go this far? You stare down at your hollow gauntlets. And now this is the price I pay in death. A spirit forced to walk the site of his crimes forever, without respite. A dead man trapped in a suit of armor, a suit of iron, a villain in the guise of a knight. And so this is where your story ends. Accept your fate, accept your cage, refuse it, leave your armor, return to sea. Just let me forget, let me go back to not knowing a damn thing. This is interesting. We'll go for all of them if it doesn't go too much for a route. Let's go for the first one. Accept your fate. Fine. If this is my fate, then so be it. I'll remain here until I rust. Sudden flash of pain sears through your cuirass, courses through the links of your hauberk, tearing at the weave of your soul. Being trapped on this earth may be my punishment, but it doesn't mean I have to spend eternity in this room. You barrel towards the imposing pair of doors at the end of the banquet hall, slamming into them with your pauldrons. The forcing to jolt your plates from helm to sabaton. You grasp into the oaken slabs, quickly try to shove them open before your strength leaves you. But no matter how much you strain, they don't move an inch. Locked too. Damn it, let me go! Let me! A burning series of cuts pierce your gorget and cuirass. Your hauberk rattles violently as your plates groan and clang in a metallic scream. You stagger and fall into your griefs with a violent hollow clatter. I know I deserve this. I know that. But I can't spend eternity like this. I can't even last another. Another stab pierces your helm, shaking your visor and making your vision dance behind its slits. You grip the top of your helm and bury your head in your gauntlets, quivering. I can't bear this. You curl into the side of your cuirass, on the cold, blood-stained floor. You try to ignore your surroundings. The stone below you, the moonlight that touches every ruined, filthy, forgotten surface. The soundless screams that burn and cut into you like blades of flame. You search inside yourself for a memory deeper and older than anything you were ever conscious of. Not when you were alive, not when you breathed, not when you were. Before that and after, when you were nothing at all. Take me back. Take me back to the sea, damn it. Feel. You sink deep into your armor, searching through chain and rivets and plates for the threads that remain of you. The sensations that washed over you when you first found it remain. Cold steel, hollow plates. Your armor, brief as you inhabited it, has held you, welcomed you, like a piece of yourself, but now it binds you. So slowly you unravel yourself. You let threads fray. You let memories drift. You let your tether go. See. The scene around you grows distant. Darkness falls around you, as if some force outside now extinguishes the moon and stars, one by one. Your vision withdraws into your visor. Its lid too merges into blackness, and then into nothing at all. Listen. You let go of the strands of you, like a tapestry unweaving itself. Let your memories emerge around you, becoming one with many. Yours and not yours, all and none. A single thread in a rippling fabric, a single drop in the roiling sea. But sound lingers longer than sight. A voice quivering reaches toward you. Tristan. And then, while the last thread of you is still intact, you strain to hear the sea, listen to the voice. What if we ignore the voice? Do we just really let go? Strain to hear the sun and the sea. You ignore the voice and let it float away. A second later, on some half-remembered instinct, you reach for it. But by then it's gone. It drifts away, a faded ribbon tossed into the waves. You hear nothing now but the sea. You know nothing but its lightless depths. Anything that once was you disperses on its cold black waves. And all you feel before you cease to feel is a void, 1,000 times, infinite times, more hollow than a suit of steel. Ending 1. Return to the sea. Okay, and obviously we're gonna try listening to the voice now. You're not my brother. The words snap you back to the living world with the force of a breaking wave, the shock of being thrown into a freezing pool. You fall back into the weight of your armor in mere moments before you collapse into the floor in a heap of metal, black and cold. You again. If you're dead too, then leave me be. Go beyond the shore where I'll never see you. Spend your eternity in a place I'll never reach. My brother is... Let me drown. Let me go. I'm dead now. I'm a ghost. Not a hero or a knight or even a man any longer. My brother's a hero. A hero who loves me and always protects me. He would never hurt me or betray me like this. I'm not a hero, Lynn. But I swear as long as I'm alive, I will protect you. Oh. In another time and place. Castle Winter, Liff, year 298 winter. 298. Grandmother, I brought you some warm milk. I remember this. This played at the end of the demo, but the end of the demo was like way back in the cellar. This happens, this got pushed way further. You're my Aunt Tristram and a servant. Will you wait until I cross the sunless sea before you act like it? The young man wordlessly sets the steaming cup down and retreats from the room. You almost feel a pang of remorse as you hear the door close behind him with a quiet thud. Old age is making you sentimental. The regrets you thought you tossed aside weigh like piled stones. The boy is almost 30, and on the surface an ideal successor, like him way too young of a voice for 30. Level-handed, poised, a seasoned warrior, a skilled diplomat, like you trained him to be. But his heart is fragile and weak, just like... You sigh and turn towards the painting on the wall. Like him. His portrait has hung on that wall for decades. It was painted from your memories and descriptions. The artist spared no detail. It captured his likeness with a melancholy so true to life it stung you. Far from the heroic figure you wanted him remembered as. You dismissed that artist from your court in disgrace and hung the portrait in the privacy of your chambers, safe from the eyes of the world. And so he has kept watch over you, decade after decade, reminding you of your failures. You find yourself speaking to the dead more than the living these days. You dream of the things you'll ask him, explain to him, beg of him, demand from him. Until we meet again beyond the sunless sea, dear brother. Oh. You turn away from the painting to stare at the snow that drifts outside your window. It falls in ghost-white flakes against an empty sky. A half-devoured moon lingers in the gloom. You sit there, watching that world of light and dark for a long while. Until you drift into the void of your dreams. I want a necklace too. Another memory. You shout the words, though it isn't true. You have pretty necklaces back home in the castle, strung with pearls and sapphires as blue as the sky, stowed among the jewels and clothes your mother left you. You're not jealous of the lumpy yellow stone around her neck at all. But brother is my knight. You treat me like the most special person in the world. There's still plenty to look at, Len. Why don't we see everything first? Why does she get a present? It's not fair. My God, my wife was hot. Can I find a way to come back? Is she still alive? Lind, your plans for your brother, Cat, kneeling down next to you. Tristan brought you all the way here for the festival. Isn't there something you should say to him instead of demanding gifts? You refuse to answer. Let's be a little nice. Thank you. Thank you, brother. You mum the words, you stare at your boots. You learn that your brother gives her whatever she wants. It was better to get her to like you. After all, she's no stranger to you. She isn't your sister yet, but she will be soon. Sister. You're not sure if you'll ever get used to the word. Come on, then, your brother says. Gently, a little guiltily. I've never seen the word guiltily, like we all know guilty, but guiltily. There's lots to see today that you'll like. Look, a play is starting. I kind of wanted to give him more of like a gentler voice, in like his human form, like in the night, which are very colder, almost hero knight-like voice, but like, you know, a softer voice for his human form. You can't help but perk up. You hardly ever see plays at the castle. Gather round one and all for the tale of Tristram, slayer of the Iron Beast. A booming voice shouts from a makeshift stage. The two knights share a relieved look, then gaze down expectantly at you. Oh, well, I mean, this just sounds too adorable to reach for both their hands. Your brother takes your right hand while she takes your left. You hold on to them both tightly as you walk towards the stage. Something cold lands on your eyelid. A flake of snow. Snow. But it's so warm today. A shock of cold shoots up your hand as if you put on a glove of ice. You yelp and jerk away, but your brother's gauntlet grips you like a manacle. You look up into his helmet as blood oozes from his visor in thick black rivulets. The drop burns and they land on your face. Then, it's time to wake up. Oh, now we follow her story. Faint sunlight falls on your cheek as you shake off the remains of a half-forgotten dream. You breathe in deep, regretting it immediately as you take in the overwhelming scent of flowers, and slightly sit up. Oh, we get a little portrait. Sigland. I must have dozed off. And that is where I'm going to end this. I know. Oh, he's ending it right when we get to like another part. Yeah. I mean, again, this game's about maybe 8 to 10 hours-ish from what I was kind of reading. This game is rather long, and, you know, I'm going to try to get this. I don't know if I'm going to get all endings, because the game page itself doesn't say how many endings there are. Unless there's something in the codex. Oh, well, this helps you, actually. Well, this helps both of us. This is the Gorgets. Where's the, and this is our legs and the Cousises. Honestly, bravo to Indices, for putting this in the game. This is really awesome. Because you know a lot of people wouldn't know Night Term, so this is actually sick to kind of draw something like this. And yeah, even like the Hauberk. Oh, that's Hauberk. Is that how I say that correctly? That's awesome that he put this in the game. Hold on. About lore. You were Siglin, but you're also Lind or Len. Your reputation is, to the core, you're little more than a lamb in a den of lions. Your knights serve you out of duty. Personal loyalty, don't dream of it. Papa, your late father, Sigmund von Winter, he wasn't the warmest man and was often too busy to spend time with you, leaving Tristan and my wife to look after you instead. It only made you strive all the more for his affection. Sir Tristan Greywall, your brother is the best, bravest, kindest, and cleverest and handsomest knight in the entire world. He's your half-brother to be exact, but neither he nor your father have ever mentioned his mother. Wow. She also has a knife. But yeah, I'm going to end it there because I know that this is going to be a longer series and a longer game. I'm going to give my voice a break from jumping between different voices. I don't want to say too much because we're only in like the first episode of this. But I'm a big fan of this game. I'm going to try to get, as I said, as many endings as I possibly can. I don't know how many in the game because even the page only says multiple endings, so I don't know how many specifically there are. I'll try to get as many as I can to show off like all the signs of the game. And, you know, we'll just go through this like little reading experience and choice game together because I'm a really big fan of this art style and storytelling. I love how in detail the creator goes for this, you know. And I remember he said he liked one of my videos when I played some of his games, and I was like, oh yeah. He was the first developer to tell me something like that. So I always held that close because I was like, my channel was smaller at the time, and he told me he liked the videos. I was like, let's go. But yeah, I will not be happy enough. I'm loving the game so far, and I hope you are enjoying it as well. This will be an entire series. I don't know how long it will be exactly, but I hope you stay for the ride because I'm having a great time with this. But yeah, I won't be happy enough. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I sincerely appreciate you all. And farewell for now.